In the bustling heart of London, where the streets are filled with the hurried footsteps of people with different stories, we meet Maria, a hard-working nurse. To the outside world, she's just another medical professional in the large hospital, where she spends endless hours tending to the sick and the needy. But beneath her caring facade, Maria is quietly fighting her own battle. Her life isn't easy. A single mother, she struggles to keep afloat, juggling her full-time job with her personal responsibilities. Her younger brother, suffering from a rare and costly illness, requires expensive treatment that she simply can't afford. The hospital has become her second home, but it also serves as a constant reminder of her own limits. Despite the smiles she wears for her patients and colleagues, Maria's heart bears the weight of endless bills, her dreams slipping further away with each passing day. But little does Maria know, fate is about to change her life forever. It begins as the normal day at the hospital. Maria, ever dedicated to her patients, finds herself rushed off her feet, coordinating a particularly chaotic emergency situation. Yet amid the crisis, there is one moment, one stranger who catches her eye. Enter Sheikh Amir al-Fahad. Dressed in the finest fabrics, exuding quiet power, he is the very picture of Arab aristocracy. A businessman of extraordinary wealth, Amir arrives at the hospital with his elderly mother, seeking routine treatment for her minor health concerns. What could have been an ordinary day quickly becomes something extraordinary. Maria, in her calm, graceful manner, steps forward to tend to Amir's mother. She moves with professional ease, her hands steady despite the flurry of activity around her, but it's not just her nursing skill that stands out, it's her genuine kindness, her quiet dignity amidst the chaos. For Amir, it's a moment that lingers. As he watches Maria care for his mother, he is struck by something deeper, something rare, beyond her professional demeanor. A thought forms in his mind, but he's unsure of what it truly means. The very next day, Sheikh Amir pays Maria a visit. He doesn't come to the hospital as a patient or a businessman. No, this time, he comes to offer a gesture that is beyond the norm. Standing before Maria, a humble nurse in the very place she's given so much of herself, he speaks the words that change everything. I want to thank you not just for taking care of my mother, but for your unwavering compassion. I see so much of what you're going through and I want to help. His offer is simple yet profound. He presents Maria with an extraordinarily generous donation to cover her brother's medical bills. It's more than she could ever dream of, yet at that moment something inside Maria causes her to hesitate. As polite as she tries to be, Maria feels a rush of confusion and suspicion. Who is this man who comes from a world so far removed from her own, and why is he offering so much without expecting anything in return? For Maria, accepting this charity feels wrong. It doesn't align with her sense of pride, her struggle. It's not just the money, it's the unfamiliarity of it all. She battles her pride and sense of independence. Could this mysterious man truly be acting from kindness, or is there something more at play? The days go by and Sheikh Amir remains persistent. He wants to help, but his offers grow bolder, more unconventional. One fateful afternoon, Maria's world is completely upended. After their brief meetings, Amir gathers the courage to finally speak the words that will shake her world. They meet again, and this time, the offer on the table is one that Maria never could have imagined. Maria, he begins, his tone uncharacteristically vulnerable. I have an unusual request for you. I've inherited a significant fortune, but it comes with one condition, a condition that requires me to marry before my 35th birthday. I know this may sound crazy, but I need you to marry me temporarily. For a long moment, Maria doesn't know how to respond. The proposal is utterly shocking, out of place. Her first instinct is to refuse, but then something in his eyes, honesty, desperation, vulnerability, makes her pause. Amir explains further, but his motives only add more confusion to the mix. It's not a marriage for love, it's a marriage for the sake of a legacy. But as Maria weighs the proposal in her mind, another part of her, the part that has always struggled, begins to wonder, could this arrangement help both of them? How will she respond? And perhaps more importantly, can she allow herself to consider such an offer? As the days pass, Maria finds herself swept into a world that is beyond anything she has ever known. A world of luxury, of glittering chandeliers and sumptuous meals, far removed from her humble life at the hospital. The agreement with Amir, initially made for practical reasons, quickly shifts as it begins to feel more like a complicated test of her character. Maria, now a temporary bride, steps into the role of a wife in this foreign culture, trying to balance the expectations of her new life with the reality of who she is. The lavish mansion feels like a distant planet compared to the simple apartment she used to call home. Surrounded by attendants and luxuries she never imagined, Maria struggles with the feeling of being out of place. Her Western upbringing clashes with the traditions of the powerful, deeply rooted family Amir belongs to. Amir's family, especially his well-meaning but skeptical relatives, watch her closely. Their cold stares and murmurs behind her back make her question her decision even more. Maria wonders if she'll ever truly belong in this world, unsure if her own values will ever align with the wealthy, tradition-bound environment she's now part of. Yet it is in these moments that Maria realizes something important. What seemed like an impossible and awkward arrangement is now becoming a unique test of strength and patience. Strangely, she also finds herself drawn closer to Amir, despite the differences in their worldviews. She sees beyond the polished image and glimpses something deeper, the loneliness beneath his confident exterior. It's not just a marriage of convenience anymore. There are sparks of understanding, and in unexpected moments, she feels a connection growing between them, fragile as it may be. Just when Maria begins to feel like she's getting used to this new way of life, a storm begins to brew in the shadows. It isn't just Maria who's trying to navigate the whirlwind of luxury. Amir's world is filled with rivals who want to see him fail. One particular individual, a businessman, vying for Amir's power and influence, decides that Maria, his new wife, is the perfect target. In the high-stakes world Amir belongs to, alliances are fragile, and a simple marriage contract can be manipulated to one's advantage. This rival, calculating and ambitious, begins to spread rumors about the marriage, painting it as a business deal rather than a genuine union, claiming Maria is just a gold digger or a poor nurse looking to secure a wealthy future. The whispers start to grow, even reaching the media. Articles pop up showing distorted versions of Maria's humble beginnings and questioning her intentions. For Amir, these schemes are not just personal. They threaten the fortune and legacy he's worked hard to build. But it's Maria who will bear the most of the backlash. After all, she's the outsider here. Public perception turns against her, and the pressure mounts. Maria's old life of anonymity is gone, replaced by relentless public scrutiny. As her private life is exposed to the world, Maria must dig deep and find the strength she never knew she had. She's no longer just a nurse now. She's part of a legacy that carries more weight than she could have imagined. Faced with these ruthless forces, she needs to make a choice: step back and retreat to her quiet life, or fight to protect the love and life she's begun to build with Amir. The pressure finally breaks. Amid the threats, the rumors, and the overwhelming chaos, Amir has a decision to make. With the full weight of his family's expectations, society's judgment, and business rivals conspiring against him, he wonders if he can stand by the woman who's unexpectedly captured his heart. And Maria, now standing at the precipice, faces her own internal battle. She has come to care for Amir more deeply than she ever thought possible. The first act of kindness that seemed like a simple proposal has turned into something far more complicated, yet so much more meaningful. The fear of rejection, of being used, still haunts her, but her growing affection for Amir, forces her to confront her deepest emotions. Amir, unable to contain his feelings any longer, steps into the light to face the truth. In a moment that feels as though time has stopped, he publicly declares his love for Maria, not as his temporary wife, but as the woman he wants to build his future with. Standing in front of his family, his friends, and the media, he takes a brave step forward. Maria, still unsure of the sincerity behind Amir's declaration, looks into his eyes, eyes that once seemed distant, cold, now full of passion and longing. She takes a leap of faith. This isn't the fantasy of a wealthy marriage or the pressures of societal expectations. It's about their bond, the strength they've discovered in each other through trials, betrayal, and love. In that moment, Maria knows that no matter the challenges ahead, their love will define who they are. Not the riches, not the inheritance, but the genuine connection they've built together. In the aftermath of Amir's public declaration of love, the storm finally begins to calm. The media frenzy dies down, and his rivals, having failed to manipulate the situation, retreat into the shadows. For Maria, the pressure that had threatened to suffocate her starts to ease, and a new chapter of her life begins. But it's not just about weathering the storm. As Maria stands beside Amir, with his family now fully accepting her as a part of their world, she realizes the most important truth of all. She never needed the wealth, the fame, or even the title of Sheikh's wife. What she truly needed was Amir's respect, his trust, and the unconditional love they've come to share. Together, Maria and Amir rewrite their own story. The once temporary transactional marriage has turned into a lasting bond, one founded not on duty, but on love. As they navigate their shared future, they combine their worlds in ways that bring out the best of both, Maria's modest yet resilient heart and Amir's desire to protect and support the people he loves. Maria's brother receives the medical care he needs, the financial burden is lifted, but it is the love that continues to grow between them both that remains the most precious gift of all. Maria steps into her role as a partner in Amir's world, confident in who she is, not just as his wife, but as an individual capable of making a real difference in both their lives. With a renewed sense of purpose and strength, Maria and Amir embark on their shared journey, taking on the future together, not because of the riches or status it brings, but because they have found a love more valuable than anything else. As their story unfolds, Maria and Amir prove that true love isn't measured by wealth or status, but by the strength of one's character and the depth of one's heart. Maria entered Amir's world as a humble, struggling nurse with nothing to her name but a desire to help those around her, and Amir, a powerful man with everything to lose, learned the power of vulnerability and honesty. Through trials and tribulations, the couple realizes that the most valuable inheritance they can share is not riches, but the commitment to stand by each other even when the odds seem insurmountable. Their love, born from an unexpected proposal, is a testament to the idea that sometimes the most extraordinary stories begin in the most unlikely of circumstances. Their journey teaches us that love is not about a perfect beginning, nor is it defined by external circumstances. True love grows when two people dare to be vulnerable, to trust, and to fight for each other against all odds. Maria, the poor nurse, became the beacon of resilience, and Amir, the Arab Sheikh, found that true wealth lies not in material things, but in the bonds we build with others. So what makes a marriage work? Love, trust, sacrifice, and the courage to take risks for the person you care about. Maria and Amir's story is proof that no matter how different our worlds may seem, love finds a way to unite us, no matter where we come from and no matter what challenges we face.